Running. Okay, looking good on YouTube, I think. Yes. Let's check out old Twitch here. Dope. We are now live on Twitch as well. We are up on both our platforms. We're going to start with the old Mighty today so we get things kicking off. Got some news to run through. I'll be streaming for probably about 90 minutes or so. As I said, we're going to get started with the Mighty here in a second as soon as it's done heating up. My dog's joining me, apparently. And we've got all our other fun toys behind us. Volcano, Mini Nail, all that great stuff. Riri, welcome, Riri. Thanks for being here. We'll do this first nice Mighty for you, my friend. And we're going to be doing a bunch of combustibles today because big news. I have to take a somewhat unwanted break from combustibles, meaning anything that goes into my lungs. Well, not combustibles because there's no fire in vapes, but anything that I would inhale with THC. I need to take a break. I've messed up my lungs a little bit with the flu and have not been able to get rid of this pretty nasty cough. It's happened before, and I just have to take a break from doing any weed that goes into the lungs to get it to clear through. So I'm going to do a last weekend before I take at least a couple of weeks off from, again, doing anything other than edibles. Still hope to stream a bunch and all that, but only going to be doing edibles while my lungs are healing up. But we're going to celebrate, nonetheless, this final weekend. And our Mighty here is ready. Thanks for being here, Riri. And looks like we got some new friends and old friends. Long live the turtle is back. Noticing Guy Fieri again. Thanks for being here. Long live the turtle. Always happy to have you here in Flavortown. We got Alex Santana. Welcome, Alex Santana. Which I was listening to some 90s music recently, and I was listening to... Do you remember when Carlos Santana was a big thing again in that late aughts, late 90s, early aughts period where you had like Rob Thomas do a Santana song, Michelle Branch? Well, there's one, Santana did a cover with a guy by the name of Alex Band featuring Santana, and he was the guy from The Calling. Nobody even remembers that band. Anyways, welcome, Alex Santana. Even if you can't do some amazing guitar riffs. I never quite understood what Carlos Santana was. What other musician was so famous that they weren't the lead singer of a band or the, front man, but was famous enough that they could go with people and they would be the Carlos Santana, the guitar player, was always the draw, and there were other people coming to join him. I don't really know of anybody else who was like that. Anyways, that's way too much talk about Carlos Santana. This conversation, not so smooth. But yes, so guys, again, this is going to be our last time for a while doing combustibles. Going to take a couple weeks for this cough to work its way through. I might have to kick my dog out. She's being nice and loud. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Come here, girl. Sorry about that. Still working through our Mighty. Alex says he was born in the year 2000 and he wouldn't know. Ah, a millennium baby. Well, welcome, Alex. If you're a fan of pop music, check out Carlos Santana featuring Alex Band of The Calling. And that's one of those, what's the term for it? Like nominative determinism, I think is the name, where your name sort of dictates your outcome in life, or what you call something determines its ultimate fate. If your name is Alex Band, it seems like the drive to be part of a big pop group must be pretty high. Oh, great question. Long Live the Turtle says, what's in the gumball machine? There used to be candy in there, lots of it. And then for a time, there were vape cartridges that I put in there. But then they would it just didn't look right. So I bought another used old gumball machine and moved them in there. Here was a dumb thing to do. I just wanted to clean them all, so I put put them in alcohol to clean them all. Not realizing I forgot that there was one disposable in there, so I just soaked a battery in a bunch of alcohol, and it popped. I mean, it didn't explode or anything, but the battery definitely split. Dangerous, stupid. So this one here, Long Live the Turtle. Is filled with old vape cartridges. Every one of these ones in here, and I stopped doing this years ago when I got this thing filled. And even though I've just doused it in alcohol many times and done whatever, it's still gross, a little gross, but I still like it. I haven't done this for years. This is probably like 2 years worth of reviews, but maybe the first 2 years of Wheat's reviews are in this gumball machine right now. That one just has marbles and something in it. Anyways. I'm breaking stuff. There we go. Oh! Speaking of stuff, I do have my 3D printer, my fancy 3D printer up and running. I've printed a bunch of cool stuff. I have the printer from Anker. It was a big Kickstarter hit over the summer. Let me see if I can't turn my camera to it. Hold on, guys. Let's go. Can't really see it too well beside my monitor there, but that is the spool for it. And so I've just been messing around, learning the ropes of 3D printing, all that fun stuff. And somebody shared with me a website where you can print off lithographs, 3D printed lithographs, which are basically just pictures that use light to give a 3D sort of sense to it. And I hadn't given it a lot of consideration, just wanted to test it out. And my local Ace Hardware, it's right next to, it's in the gayest part of Long Beach, a very gay city. So it has a lot of LGBT themed merchandise and also Christmas merchandise, because there are a lot of rich old people who buy a lot of overpriced Christmas stuff. And so, at least to my wife and I, they're locally famous. They have a giant display every year. I mean, there must be over 100 maybe different gay mermen ornaments, doing every different kind of job or task, from your standard YMCA mermen, your cop, your fireman, your Native American, to some really esoteric shit, like deep cut stuff, including the one I printed off in my 3D printed lithograph. This is the gamer. I'm not sure how well it shows up, but This is just a 3D printed thing of one of the mermen from my local Ace Hardware. Just testing my 3D printer. It says, he's got it tattooed on his chest right there, Gay Mer. It's an excellent pun, by the way. So, it's another tchotchke to share while I'm at it. Okay, let's get to what we're supposed to be doing and finish our Mighty here. I've just been nursing it. Excuse me. And then we'll get on with some heavier stuff and get the show started. Play some Splatoon. All of that fun stuff. This is just about out. Well, thanks, Alex. It's a gross habit, but it's kind of a cool effect now after a couple of years of collecting them. All right, well, that is done. Now let's go ahead and do our first dab of the stream. Excuse me, and I'll meet you guys back there, clean this out, and then we will get ready for our first dab. Okay. There's our Mighty. And let's get ourselves a dab going. And to any of you guys just joining in, I'm sure I'll go over this a couple more times during the stream here. But this is a bit of a bittersweet stream moment. I'm going to be taking a couple weeks break from doing any kind of, not weed totally. I'm going to do plenty of edibles. But I got to give my lungs a break. Got to lose this cough, so I'm going to take at least a couple weeks of no smoking to try to beat this nasty cough. But until then, we're going to do plenty of dabs and volcano bags. Here we go. We're going to give this one to our good buddy, Long Live the Turtle, asking cool questions. Here we go. Looks like we got Captain Fang / Egg just popping up in the chat. Egg, my friend, I hope you didn't get flooded out too badly there in the Central Valley. I know we talked a little bit after the storms, but you guys got hit harder than us, and still hope everything's okay for you. Well, there's that cough. And let's switch our camera back to the correct angle. Long Live the Turtle says, what's your favorite extract company? When it comes to dabs and carts, any kind of like concentrates, I don't have a specific brand or farm or grower or whatever you would want to call the people who make concentrates. I guess they might not actually grow the weed. They might just do all extraction process. I think of them more as just like commodity goods. But when it comes to like cartridges and pens and pods and all that, there's some tech involved. So there's at least some room for differentiation in there. As always, I'll go with good old plug play. Woke Potato says, oh shit, Wheat's on Twitch. Well, I always stream both places. In case you guys didn't know, I'm always on Twitch and YouTube. Comments come up on both places. Feel free to join either spot. Most people watch on YouTube, but Twitch is the hot shit when it comes to if you really want to do this in a more professional capacity. I don't know what the term is, but I just stream on both simultaneously. But Woke Potato, are you one of do we normally hang out on YouTube? Do you go by a different name over there? Either way, thanks for being here. And thanks for the follow. Also, Oblivion Xanax. Fun name. Well, I lied to you guys earlier this week. Not intentionally. I think I said I was going to go see Avatar on Wednesday, and it did not happen again. That's been the story for a month. But it is really, truly happening. That's why I'm leaving here in about a little over an hour. Finally going to go see that Jake Scully and his Avatar babies on the big screen. And against advisement from good friends with great taste, I am still ponying up to go see it in the much maligned. I don't know anybody who's really has positive things to say about the experience, but I hope to be the one to be impressed by it. I'm going to go see it in high frame rate, which is a not very popular format. There are only not very many places showing it in that way, including these Dolby theaters, these super fancy theaters that I'm going to go see it at. So James Cameron shot it at different frame rates, not just 24, not just 48, not just 60, but variable, from what I understand. And then the thing that seems most baffling to me, and seems to be what many people who just hated it had the biggest problem with it, is the movie is also shown at a variable frame rate, meaning it switches from a traditional cinematic 24 frames per second, like what every movie is displayed in, to action sequences will gear up to 60, and then they'll switch back down to 24, and sometimes they'll be at like 48, things in between. And it might change frame rate 5 or 6 times in a single scene in Avatar, and it can be apparently jarring. I find that weird, and I don't know why he went down that path, but I really wish we could get over our collective hatred of movies running at high frames. I've talked about it many times here on Weeds. It is holding action sequences back, having such a low frame rate. This all stems from the fact that I got to see the objectively terrible, truly awful Will Smith movie, Gemini Man, from 2019 in 4K 3D, 120 frames per second, and it felt like a roller coaster ride. It felt like going to a theme park. It was incredible. I loved it. It's hard to explain how it changes the feelings of movies, but it made this dreadful piece of shit movie actually exhilarating, purely because of the technical whiz-banginess. So I am still very cautiously optimistic that Avatar will land for me with its frame rate shenanigans, but it doesn't seem like it's going to change the public's opinion anytime soon. But I find that distressing. We should all want our action sequences in movies at higher frames. Our video games, we as consumers now, your next-gen consoles are all at 120 frames per second. Most video games now are playing at 60 frames per second. it just seems unfortunate that we have this bizarre and bizarrely archaic system for movies that we are so attached to. I find myself often watching movies with action sequences and just feeling like things would be way in these frantic. If we're going to continue doing frantic action sequences with a lot of cuts and trying to hide things between in motion, we should at least make that motion look a lot better and smoother, and I think it makes it a better experience. But I might die on that hill alone. All right, that's enough Avatar 2 talk. Let's do our first bag. And then we will get to the Splatoon, I promise. We don't have a whole lot of time left, but we'll get there. Woke Potato says, I used to watch you on a different YouTube, different name. This is my stream account. Well, thanks for being here, Woke Potato. Glad you checking us out on Twitch. Super appreciate it. And he then asked, did I like the first Avatar? Woke Potato, great question. Fun fact, one of the very first things I ever did with my future spouse, my wife right now, when we were in college, I was so excited for Avatar that I was on this like waiting list, you know, to get a bunch of info and cool shit, and just following the movie feverishly. And I got invited to a special sneak preview in August before the movie came out, where they showed like 20 minutes of it in IMAX for folks. And it's one of the very first things I did with my my wife way back when, 13 years ago. And I mean, I was so excited for it. I just thought James Cameron could do no wrong. Thought the preview was, you know, interesting and still wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but still was waiting for that December with anticipation that really I haven't felt since then. And the movie came out, and it was mostly just okay. It definitely was a huge disappointment. I hadn't rewatched it until this past September when they re-released it in theaters. I hadn't seen it since it came out, and rewatching, I thought it was pretty similar to my first impressions, which is this is a nice tech demo, but like James Cameron, we all know that you're capable of the whiz bang, and Avatar has plenty of that. But you, what happened to your ability to make us care about the most unlikely of characters? A Rose from Titanic, a T-1000, or T-100, whatever Arnold Schwarzenegger is. I just, you know, couldn't give a shit about anybody in Avatar. It looked really cool, but it all of the many criticisms about how it is the most generic Pocahontas ripoff story are all very true. There's no lies detected, but James Cameron always makes really good number twos. Believe me, I've been in his bathroom, so I know the dude knocks it out of the park with number twos. So I'm another thing, in addition to being cautiously optimistic with a little trepidation about the technology, this high frame rate, variable high frame rate, I'm also just worried about the movie, because seem to be mixed opinions, but some of the stuff that bubbled up to me is like, oh, it's like the first one, and that is that's not exactly reassuring. Avatar, The Last Airbender, The Way of Water, Avatar, whatever it's called, Mists of Pandora, Avatar. It made a shit ton of money. All right, that's our Avatar talk. Mike Hunt, welcome back, Mike Hunt. Thank you for being here. My second favorite name to read behind Dr. Smegma Jones is always going to be Mike Hunt. And thanks for being here. We are doing our first volcano bag, so we're going to do it in honor of my beloved, my longtime playmate and friend and companion, Mike Hunt. Cooper Green says, yo, Terminator 2. You don't have to tell me, Cooper Green. Welcome, Cooper. I am a Terminator 2. I mean, I couldn't love it more. I moved to Los Angeles just to be here, where the action was. I look at the LA River not as a dried up concrete bed, but as a plaything for tractor trailers and motorcycle chases. And I'm also a Titanic lover, not a hater at all. I think Titanic is one of the greatest pieces of blockbuster filmmaking ever. Jimmy Cameron, up until this point, had done nothing wrong. Those are true truths, not true lies. I thought I was done talking about Avatar. I'll let you know. I'm going to see it in 2 hours. I'll let you know. All right, so let's get our first volcano bag in. We've not done a lot of this weed that I've been promising on this last time. I'm going to be doing weed inhalants for a couple of weeks. Give my lungs a break. So let's get to that. Long Live the Turtle says, it's like the same as The Last Samurai. Yes, it is. The white savior story. Last Samurai. Boy, what a forgotten movie. Last Samurai. Let's try it. This one's not going to be easy. In case you don't know, I have an X-Men power. My one mutant power is I can tell you roughly, if you give me a movie that came out in the last like 22, 25 years, somewhere in that time frame, I can give you a year, sometimes a month. So let's try this. Last Samurai, Tom Cruise. That's November 2004. I'm going to lock that one in. Could be 2003. Anyways, very, very similar to the movie Avatar, Last Samurai. The guy who made the movie Last Samurai, he's made that one movie a dozen times with a different actor every time, where it's like a white guy comes in and saves the day. His name's Edward Zwick. He made the movie first, or the first I know of it, it's called Glory. It's where Matthew Broderick saves slavery. It's also got Denzel Washington, but Matthew Broderick's the hero. He did Blood Diamond with Leonardo DiCaprio, where Leonardo DiCaprio saves mistreated workers in diamond mines. He also made it in, what's another Eddie Zwick? There are a couple more. He just does that same thing over and over again. Last Samurai. Tom Cruise is a samurai. Seems like a long time ago. Oh, 69mega.com looks like we found a girl for you. Welcome back, 69mega.com. A long time no see. Where's this lady for me? Woke Potatoes says they filmed part of that at the steel mill I worked at here in California. The steel mill that Arnold dies in heroically at the end with his thumbs up. That steel mill, that's super cool. Long Live the Turtle says X-Men 97 is gonna be lit. What a weird project. If you don't know, X-Men 97 is the direct sequel, continuation of the 90s, beloved 90s X-Men cartoon, but it's going to continue as if it were just a brand new season. 15, or what, 25 years later, however many years that is ago. Weird, on Disney Plus. I loved some X-Men back in the day. Give me that Wolverine touching a photo gif. Woke Potato says Avatar is a white savior movie too. It's the quintessential white savior movie, except this time instead of saving humans of a different skin color, it's aliens of a different skin color and hair, telepathy, and they're 9 feet tall. Cooper Green asks, any opinions on THC cookies? I'll be taking 2. Wish I have never done. Cooper, did you mean wish or which I have never done? Because I hope you meant which, not wish. Any opinions on THC cookies? They're incredible. Edibles are my favorite way to do weed, which is great because I'm going to be doing only those for a couple of weeks after this weekend. Cookies, baked goods are generally the best, I think, best way to do edibles. So if you're asking though, so you've done 2, which you've never done, it's hard to know how that's going to affect you unless we know how potent those cookies are. Do you know, my friend Cooper, what strength those cookies are so we can get an idea of how high you're going to be? A weed cookie can be anywhere from, a couple milligrams in strength on up to 1,000 milligrams. So it's hard to know. It just depends on how much weed is in it. Woke Potato says that, yes, he worked at the Kaiser Steel plant, which is where Terminator is. That's super neat. Figures that they shot it here in LA, or California. And cool that you had that little piece of movie history in your pocket. Almost done with our first bag here. All right, we will power through a second bag, and then we are going to hop on some Splatoon and play a couple of games before we have to take an Avatar break. If you guys have any cool 3D printed ideas or models that you think are neat, I'm in that, phase where I'm just wanting to print everything, and my printer's fast. So send them to me. But also, if any of you guys are out there more technically minded than me or more artistically minded than me, and you know your way around some 3D modeling software and are good at 3D design, I am willing to pay somebody, I can't say a lot, but I would not asking for free labor. I would love to get a really nice 3D model of some underpants, with, like some shit stained underpants that say Wheats on the back, and that could be used to like hold up a vape pen or whatever. And then I could send those 3D printed underpants to people, because our mascot, our logo, our symbol here on Wheats is a big pair of shitty underpants, which I do have. I don't know why I don't have them set up, hanging up anywhere, but they are here. I want my 3D printed model of these, but of course on just a smaller scale. I don't know how you would do the text, but it'd be a great goodie to give away to some folks. And then you could say it has some marginal utility by using it to hold your vape pens up. I don't know why I'm showing off my big novelty underwear here, but there you go. They say wheat's on the ass in shit-colored paint. They still, still not a bad fit. And that's how we got the name. Back when I was, a little bit larger, and I had an accident, and I was thinking about starting up a YouTube channel, and when I went to go throw these away and looked at the results of my accident, this is what happened. It just came out like that. And that's where the name Wheats comes from. Diarrhea. True story. Okay. All right, well, we've talked about the origins of the name Wheats. We've shown off some underpants. Let's get started with some Splatoon. We're going to power through this game, and then we are going to do that as promised. Here we go. Let's get caught up on the chat. I think we are good to go. Woke Potato says, you aren't an archaeologist by any chance, are you? I am not an archaeologist, Woke Potato. Honestly, a little flattered that you would ask. What makes you think of me as an Indiana Jones type? I mean, I think of all as archaeologists as Indiana Jones and not nebbish academic types. But I am not an archaeologist. But again, flattered you asked. If I were any kind of we're getting a new Indiana Jones movie this year. That's crazy? Let's not talk too much about Indiana Jones, but boy, I growing up like every self-respecting kid, I love some Indiana Jones. Short Round used to be my internet nom de plume for years and years and years. Short Round was my spirit guide. But I loved all the Indiana Jones movies. I've seen them countless times. I don't know if I've seen a cinematic disappointment other than Avatar as profound as Crystal Skull. Was that the name of Indiana Jones 4? Another movie I've only seen when it came out. And I don't know if I've watched the others since. It kind of left that bad a taste in my mouth. That being said, we're getting an Indiana Jones 5. Once bitten, twice, sell me the ticket. I hope we get Shia LaBeouf back. Woke Potato says, you just remind me of someone I know in the LBC. Thought you might be him. Well, I am not. Unfortunately, wouldn't it be cool if I had a bullwhip and a fedora? Planners Guy, welcome Planners Guy, says amazing origin story. Was that about the Wheat's name? The diarrhea spray? Yeah. It did, they 7 years later, or however long I've been doing this, 5, 4, 6, somewhere in there. They do still smell like shit. You would have thought the smell would have gone away, but no, they still smell terrible. But the price of Providence. Alex Santana says, I can totally see you as an archaeologist. I do look very grave robbery. I have, I always love the delineations of archaeologist, paleontologist, and anthropologist. And as a young man, trying to keep them all separate. I think most people get archaeologist and anthropologist maybe conflated. They're the most different. But yeah, I would probably be a paleontologist instead of an archaeologist. Give me animal and plant matter to look at instead of remains of people any day. All right, I keep lying. Let's do Splatoon. I'm finishing this. Woke potato. I can't. Coughing, guys. Sorry. Right into the mic. I did take college level. Wait, no, not geology. There I go, conflating things. Geography classes as well. Geology, rocks and sediment. Geography, landscapes and terrain. Natural features. It was pretty interesting. I don't think I really need to know that much about glaciers, but that's college level geography for you. And that's probably a very terrible thing to say. We're losing all them glaciers and all their carbon capture capabilities, all their stored fresh water. And here's a fun one. One of the ones, you don't think about as a first, second, third order of like, oh shit, when the glaciers go away, bad stuff's going to happen. You, of course, think about all that water, turning from solid to liquid, but glaciers have a huge impact on the albedo effect on Earth, which is the how much our planet reflects the sunlight back. And as the glaciers melt, we're going to reflect less sun. It's going to get absorbed into the planet and be one of the many, co-related accelerants on our way to climate catastrophe. So let's play some Splatoon instead. Woke Potato says, you sound like the type to give me extra credit for watching a documentary or something. That would be me. Big fans of extra credit. Go watch those documentaries. They're going to explain things better than I can. I'm some piece of shit TA in this scenario. Go watch, what's the Al Gore thing? An Inconvenient Truth. But don't really. We all know this now. All right, let's play Splatoon. Kusada says, should I quit weed? That's a personal decision, Kusata. Let me ask you, do you feel like weed is negatively impacting your life? Do you think it's holding you back from doing other things you'd prefer to be doing? If so, then I think the answer is indisputably, indubitably, without doubt, should be yes, you should. Or you should at least try to, and do your best to moderate your usage. If, however, you think to yourself, oh, I am content with my life, things are going well, I am enjoying the state of things There is nothing that I feel like the weed is either holding me from or keeping me from doing, growing as a person, then unless it is a financial burden or whatever, if it is something you find pleasant and enjoyable, I see no reason for you to quit. Again, if it is a positive in your life. I think that's going to be universally true for most people in weed, unless, of course, you have more of a medical necessity. Weed is some part of a health regimen. There might be more consideration to keep doing weed, but for everybody else, it's largely going to boil down to is it a net positive or a net negative on your life? Splatoon time. All right, man, so sorry, guys. I talked way more than I thought. We are really eating into our Splatoon time because I got to be out of here before too much longer to go see that avatar I yammered on so much about. Wait, I'm in the wrong room. I'm too high. Let's back out. I got to join the generic room here. I'm sorry, everybody. And while that is matchmaking, let's get ourselves our third bag going here. Poop! I assume that was me as the one or more player. Players Guy says, I would love to see you review the 510 flavored premium cart gelato. I would love to see myself review that as well. Where, Planners Guy, do you, buy your 510 flavored premium gelato carts? Players Guy says his favorite strains are French Toast and Blueberry Cobbler, Sweet Tooth. Those are both delectable things IRL. And, you know, there are a lot of things, weed has a lot of food names tied with them. And I find I can never, you know, when I try a cherry pie or a pineapple something, it never tastes anything like that. But anything with a blueberry name, whatever terpene that is, it does taste shockingly like blueberries, some weed out there. And, you know, there's flower out there that tastes like artificial blueberries, but that blueberry-ish taste nonetheless, way more so than any other flavor I've ever come across, other than, you know, Pine Sol. Coco Lee says, my boyfriend Dr. Smegma Jones says hi. Well, that's curious. I thought Dr. SJ was married. But welcome and thanks for hanging out with us, Coco and Dr. SJ. I really wants my what? My body, my soul, my life. I've got my hammer, but maybe wait a moment till there's good opportunity to do something with it. Oh shit! Try not to get killed before then. Nice. And sniped. Easy does it. That's a lot of beams of light. I missed him. Very close game. But I think they're gonna take it, unfortunately. Oh shit, that's a vacuum gun! And smoked from the top. A rough start here, but that's a-okay. Kusada says, and my bad if I'm not saying your name correctly. Let me know how you'd like me to say it. It says, I enjoy it, and it's never had an impact on my work. But recently, I don't know. It's, if it's as, it's... Let me, reread that. But recently, I don't know if it's the weed, but I've been throwing up, and my nose has been bleeding a lot. Oh no! That sounds terrible, Kusada. We have somebody, a fan who has been diagnosed with cannabis use disorder. I can't remember the exact term for it, but somebody who, after smoking gets very sick, throws up, in a similar way, and also got it after years of smoking. So, I think that's an incredibly rare thing. I'm not at all suggesting that might... It was even inappropriate of me to suggest. I'm not a medical expert at all. But Kusada, I hope that you get yourself checked out by a doctor. Ask him those questions. Because you don't want to mess around with these things. And if weed is in fact... making you throw up and giving you nosebleeds, then I promise you weed is not worth it. And especially if it's, you know, the smoking, active smoking that's doing it, because you can switch to alternatives, but I would tell you not to hesitate to get it checked out professionally. If you really think weed is the culprit, I would say don't do any weed until you do talk to a doctor, because throwing up and nosebleeds, man, while, you know, frequently harmless, still not a great thing to have happen to you all the time. Kusada says, I've been smoking for almost 6 years straight every day. So I'm going to guess it's, who knows, Kusada, who knows. Irresponsible of me to speculate anything, as I'm a dumbass loser who, we always say, Dunning-Kruger personified. I know very little, which makes it me think that I know a lot, which then makes me give this sort of false... People think I know more than I do because I know very little, which then makes me think that I know more, so I speak more confidently about it. It's a weird, vicious cycle. I'm a dumbass. Get yourself checked out. Dr. SJ says, uh-oh, this just got awkward. Not awkward at all, Dr. SJ. It's getting a call from Greenback, Tennessee. Do you guys think we should answer it? Let's do it. Hold on one second. It's gonna be a scam call, but that's fun. Hello?
Hi, this is Jim with Family Home Security. How are you today?
Hey, Jim, I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. We are running a special promotion regarding our brand new free smart home security system. So I believe you are the homeowner, correct?
Yes, yeah.
So let me ask you this. If we give you a home security system for free, I'm sure you would use it, right?
For sure, yeah. I've been meaning to get one.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that one more time?
Oh, yes, Jim, I would definitely use it. I've been actually meaning to get a security system for a while now, so this is perfect.
Hold just a second for me, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you so much for showing your interest in our home security offer. My name is Brian. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hi, Brian, this is Zeke.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're running a promotion in the area. We're offering a security system. Are you doing?
Oh, no, I think I lost you there. Are you there, sir?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I thought the connection broke for a second there. What was your question?
What'd you say?
I'm sorry, the connection broke for a second. What was your question? I'm so sorry.
No problem. Actually, I was saying we're running a promotion in your area. We're offering a 3-in-1 wireless home security system that will cover you guys against break-ins, fire, and medical emergencies. I'll walk you through what we're offering. I would customize the best package for you, then we'll go from there, okay?
Let's do it, yeah.
Let's do it, okay?
Woo!
Woo, yeah.
Oh no, I think I lost you again. Sir, are you there? Oh, sir, my free home security, am I still eligible? Oh God. I don't know where he went, guys. He disappeared. He's still on the line. They haven't hung up on me yet. I never know. I used to, I'm still on hold with whoever this is, but maybe they'll come back. I do love talking to them for as long as I can and then saying something really awful. But I guess they've determined I'm not a legitimate homeowner looking for a home security system. So their loss, because I was legit. Okay, Carl, welcome, Carl. Good to see you. We're playing some Splatoon here. Carl says those hashtags look great. Those hashtags were great. I just think Carl is referring to a review I published earlier this week. I'm going to go ahead and hang up on our friends over here at the home security system. They are still haven't hung up on me yet, though. Anyways, sucks. I was really looking forward to that. I do just like taking as much of their time as possible. It's a pastime. Anyways, hashtags from my review earlier this week. They were very good, Carl. If you're a fan of edibles and capsules, they're one of the better ones. If you see them and that sounds up your alley, definitely give them a shot. Okay, I took a Splatoon break to talk to a scammer, but let's get back to Splatoon. finish our bag here. Excuse me. Carl says that he decarbs hash himself and uses that hash to make cookies. And he also proclaims hash to be the best. Carl, were you talking about hash with us the other day? I think that was you. You do seem to be the hash. If so, the hash proselytizer. And if those level tabs are any indication, it's a great process. Okay. Unfortunately, only have about 20 more minutes of playtime here before I gotta get moving. And we'll end with more Weed than Splatoon, as I will mention again, I will be off of all inhalants for a couple of weeks to get my lungs healed up. I'll still be doing edibles, streaming with some edibles, but I'm not going to be doing any smoking weed for a couple of weeks after this weekend. So we'll do a lot of weed before I take off here as a farewell celebration. Whew, barely got him. I was taken out by a rookie, a Splatlandian youth. I got my revenge, though. Oh, man, this is one of the two newer maps from, I guess, early December. And I think it is such an excellently designed map. It's maybe my favorite in the game. Super small. It is also, even with its size, it's still very shockingly quick to get out to the action. There are some great shortcuts. It just always makes for tense, fun games. I like it a lot. Didn't even know he was there. I'll take a trade. Purple seems to be absolutely destroying them at the moment. But it is a small map, and there is a lot of time for things to change. They've got one in ours at the moment, while we've got 3 in theirs. Just 10 seconds to go. Egg says, sorry, couldn't join. He's got some bad internet because of the bad weather. No problem, Egg. I hope we get a chance to play some next week. But I hope you stay safe in the bad weather. I know we've got a couple more days of rain still here in Southern California. And I hope you guys are faring better wherever you are right now in the state. But it seems like it's rough for everybody. So stay safe, and I'm sure we'll play again together soon. I'm going to go ahead and take the break from Splatoon. I think we only played like 2 or 3 games. That's okay. My bad. And we'll focus on the weed before I have to take off here. I'm going to swap our cameras over. Cool beans. And let's go do our second small little dab here. I'm going to meet you guys back at our weed station. Okay, we will do this second dab for our good buddy Dr. Smegma Jones, Dr. Smegma Jones's girlfriend, and Dr. Smegma Jones's wife, if I remember correctly. The whole SJ clan. Thanks for being here. Happy Friday to everybody. Here's a little bit of our fruit dream. Dr. SJ, if you're still out there, remind me, what are your dog's names again? They are. I remember them being very delightful, but I cannot come up with them right now. I wanted to include them in our dab toast, but their names escape me at the moment. But this is also for your pups. Okay. Whew. That's a big old dab. Carl, again, says that maybe he's just high, but he thinks that the high from hashish is really the best. Carl, we may have talked about this last time we discussed. It does seem like hash is having its weird moment again in the sun. It seemed like it went away almost entirely after the proliferation of cheap extracts from like butane extraction processes and live resin and such. But the oldest and most reliable way of making concentrates, hash, something that I'm pretty ignorant of, does seem to be having its moment again. What, Carl, if I can ask, got you interested in trying it to begin with? Why did you decide you wanted to do hash versus all of the other, maybe even more convenient methods of doing extractions? From what I understand, hash in its like traditional sense is very hard to do on like dab rigs and things. I don't know if it's temperature sensitivity, what it is that makes it so difficult, but that might also be part of the reason it fell out of popular favor. Not sure. But I'm so interested what it's making it have this seeming resurgence. Things get popular all the time. Whew. Looking forward to hopefully having this cough go away after taking these combustible breaks. As I said, this is going to be our last time doing our volcano, our mini nail, any of that stuff for a while, as I try to get rid of this cough. Usually goes away after a couple weeks after not doing stuff. So hope to keep streaming, doing edibles and all that. But the super fun, getting high, dedicating stuff will be on pause for a bit. So let's do our last volcano bag here to celebrate or commiserate. I am at the very, very end of the Last of Us remake on PS5. Long felt, I guess, since the game came out in 2013, the finest video game ever made. Replaying it has been an absolute delight. It looks amazing as a PS5 remaster. I said all this earlier this week, so apologies if you're listening to me repeat myself, but it does feel a little outrageous to charge $70 for it again. I didn't pay that much, but seems extravagant, even if it is still incredible, and it is a really well done remake. It's obviously a high budget, well crafted affair. But I'm at the very, very end. If you've played it before, I'm in Salt Lake City. So at the very end. And I hope to beat it again for the third time before Sunday and the premiere of the HBO show, The Last of Us, which I am now so very, very excited for. The reviews are incredible, better than I think anybody ever hoped that they would be. I'm just so excited for it, and it seems primed to deliver. So I hope to play through the end of the game before the show begins, and I'm so curious where the show begins and ends in that story. I don't know if season 1 is only part of it, or if it's the entire game, where it would break. Not sure, but again, I don't have that long to find out, and I am excited to see what they come up with. After I beat that, I'm ready to get my Japanese role-playing game again on, and finally play Persona 5, however many years late to the party, and not on a PlayStation. I've had it on Steam since it came out, and been waiting to play it on my Steam Deck, but I've trying to get through a bunch of stuff, so I'm very excited to give Persona 5 a playthrough finally. I don't play a whole lot of Japanese RPGs anymore. I guess the last one I played was the Final Fantasy VII remake, which I thought was excellent a couple of years ago. So, they're not something I go to very often, but they are usually a delight when I do, and I love Persona 4. It was amazing. It's as good as everyone said it was. I played it on the Vita way back when, 2012, I think. Persona 4 Golden. Played the whole thing on the Vita, and it was almost 100 hours of... it was maybe the thing that got me to finally watch, like, anime. It was so close to being anime that I was like, I might as well watch it. And since then, I've, watched some more anime, have more appreciation even for that type of storytelling, and super excited to play Persona 5 by all accounts. Even better than Persona 4, so I expect I'll be talking about it a lot, as it will. I think it's just as long as, so we'll check in with Persona 5. as I play through it on my Steam Deck in the coming weeks. And with that, we'll finish this bag. And that is going to finish my time with combustibles for a bit. As I try to lose this cough I've had. Either way, I'll still be back with us over the next couple of weeks doing some edibles, hanging out, playing some Splatoon actually, not just yammering on. But I gotta go jet. I'm gonna go finally see Avatar after a whole month of dithering. So have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you guys next week without all of this